Hey everyone, Voltots here, coming through your speakers. And today we've got a traditional 1v1 matchup on Shattered Temple. I believe this is the MLG version with, I think the major change is that neutral supply depot. Where is it? There it is. Neutral supply depot down by the door. And this is between a Terran and Protoss player in the 2 o'clock of Shattered Temple. We have our Terran player Sjow. I'm not sure how to say that. It's a Swedish name. I'm probably incorrect. He's from Team Dignitas. Famous players like Naniwa, previously a Team Dignitas player. So should be a good representative from Team Dignitas. And at the 12 o'clock or the 12:30 position on Shattered Temple, we have our Protoss player hailing from the Ukraine. It is WhiteRa. And of course, WhiteRa is a relatively famous Protoss player, and I love Protoss, so you'll probably notice a lot of my matches lean towards Protoss. I'm sorry, I just like watching them. I'm an old school Protoss player. I am starting to learn to enjoy some Zerg versus Terran. I think that's a fun and exciting matchup at times. Terran versus Terran, you learn to love it. It's entertaining. Can sometimes go long, and you know, it's just a bunch of Marines and crap running around. Anyway, let's get into this matchup. Looks like both sides are doing some standard production. Gateway going down for our Protoss player. We got our first barracks going from Sjow. I'm not even sure how to do that. I'm butchering it. So we're just going to call him our Terran player. And Probe is checking things out. Not going to see too much, trying to do a little harassment, but that Marine is going to not only kill him, looks like he's just going to try to get it in here and get one last scout. See if there's anything shady going on, because obviously our Terran player is just going to kill this guy, and he is going to go down. Might have survived if he had a little bit more shields. I don't know if he actually saw this second or the factory going down. Again, pretty standard play from the Terran though, to see a factory pop up next. He is trying to spread out his troops in anticipation of any kind of early rush. Looks like this probe is just going to go down here and take this Zalnaga tower, try to scope things out. We got the first zealot that's running around, checking around. You know, a lot of times I've seen, especially against Protoss, a lot of barrack play, a lot of Makaraks, as it's popularly named. And I think that WhiteRa is just doing a little scope around here to make sure that none of this Makaraks or shenanigans, so to speak, is going on. First stalker on the cliff right here. That's a good cliff to be on. I need to probably do that more often in my play, because basically anything that attack moves or moves past this area is going to get a full 180 spectrum of pew-pews from our little stalker. Which actually, this Hellion might just give me a good example of that. Pew 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 all the way through. And yeah, that Hellion actually took a lot more damage than you probably would have usually taken if it wasn't for that position right there. So I'm all proud of myself that I pointed that out. Probe is in danger though. And ooh, nice job. Just one more shot and that stalker would have taken down that Hellion. I tell you what, that would have been a good deal. Now these Marines, we got enough Marines right here that they're going to save the Hellion's little behind. Stalker is up here. Oh no, that's going to hurt. That's going to leave a sting. And he loses that Stalker. Unfortunately, everything was good up until then. Losing that initial Stalker early on is probably not what he wanted to do. Usually you don't see that many Marines. So this Hellion, looks like there's not going to be a significant number of Hellions coming out. Oh, now we do have a warp gate in, and that probably didn't do as much damage as he wanted. Now we do have this Banshee that's heading over. And it looks like it will be spotted by the stalker, so WhiteRa was well prepared. But let's talk about that drop earlier. You know, he invested in, and I was sitting there watching the little shenanigans earlier, and I really didn't even notice that warp prisms were set up and that a drop was being initiated. But you know, we did get the rear end of that drop, and I think that was pretty ineffectual. He's still going to continue to do this. Now, looks like this warp prison is going in and he's going to do the drop with the stalkers, but another Banshee, or this Banshee's coming up here, so he better warp in something to defend against that Banshee. And I'm not sure if Cloak has been researched yet, but it looks like he could go do a lot of damage, and I missed what happened over here. It looks like it was taken care of by this massive number of Marines, and it looks like he does have at least one stalker, two stalkers that are defending this, but how many kills does that Banshee have? That Banshee already has 7 kills, and I'm assuming all of those are probed. We got two-pronged action going on here, and I could not absorb it all, but it looks like the drop from WhiteRa was pretty ineffectual, but the Banshee was able to take out at least 7 probes. So good job on Corporal Banshee's part. I'm sure she's quite pleased with herself, and she survived to live to tell the tale. Which is, you know, oftentimes with those Banshees, they really don't get to survive to tell that tale. A lot of times they go on suicide missions. Now both sides are one-basing it still. No one has put in the gamble to drop down another base at their natural. So we're looking at a ticking time bomb, I like to call it, going on one base. Neither of them seem to be all-inish, though we do have a 4-gate from WhiteRa. He has not been using it as a 4-gate rush. Of course, he's got the robotics in play. He's already got Twilight Council, and he's got a Templar Archive, and he does have some Templars warping in, so we will see some storms, and we do have that kind of Marine Marauder tank and Banshee ball. This is a brutal timing push coming from our Terran player that I can't pronounce his name. This could do a lot of damage here, a lot of damage, and I really don't think WhiteRa is ready for this, and the tanks are sieging up. And he does have vision up on the high ground because of the Banshees, and he can just walk those Marines right up there. So looks like WhiteRa is kind of locked down, and we are seeing the tanks starting to take apart those gateways, and once those gateways start going down, he's not even going to be able to warp in gateway units. This is all or nothing. He did pick up those 2 units before they died. That's pretty good micro on his part, but I just don't think he has enough to defend right now. Our Terran player pushing in, taking out 1 gateway. Another gateway is going down. 2 gateways are going down. So he can't even warp in enough units, even if he had the capability, which he really doesn't. And WhiteRa does tap out with a good game. Pretty short game, pretty interesting. You know, that timing push from our Terran player was to the extreme. I couldn't believe the number of troops. It looks like WhiteRa tried to tech up. He was trying to get his Templar Archive in place, trying to get storms together, possibly being able to handle a bio army, but I really don't think that he was ready for a tank push augmented by a bio army. So well played on our Terran that I cannot pronounce his side. And anyway, I hope to produce more videos and crank them out and get better and better at this for you. If you have any input, any comments, feel free to drop them in there. Thumbs up, subscribe, let me know what's going on. Thanks a lot for watching.